There is an estimated 400,000 feral horses and over 1 million feral donkeys in Australia today. A vast majority of these populations are found in the semi-arid ecosystems of northern Australia. Like all introduced animals, feral horses and donkeys have a detrimental impact on the ecosystems they inhabit, impacting native species of flora and fauna both directly and indirectly. These are the research questions posed after some initial research and contemplation of the problem. To find the answers to these research questions, I used a number of different resources. I began with a basic Google search, then used the Curtin database and Google Scholar to find relevant peer-reviewed journal articles, dissertations, and books. I also used Google to locate fact sheets and the ABC News website to locate news articles. I faced a number of challenges during this research, the first being that most of the research done is qualitative and observation-based, as well as being quite outdated. The overall impact on the ecosystem, and therefore the sustainability, has not been studied. And finally, a lot of the non-peer-reviewed research was very emotive, with the culling of feral horses being one of the most controversial topics in Australian conservation today. As you can see, there were a few key findings, although I did not answer my research questions to my satisfaction. I found that the greatest threat that feral horses and donkeys make is to those species who are endemic to the area. They impact a number of different animals, mostly through the destruction of habitat. Surprisingly, I found that ant populations were greatly affected by the presence of feral horses and donkeys, and that they are a great indicator as to the health of an ecosystem. As mentioned previously, there is not much research available on the impact of feral horses and donkeys on the sustainability of the area. I did find other research that showed that decreased biodiversity has a negative effect on the sustainability of an ecosystem. The methods used currently to control these populations are culling, mustering and removal, and fertility control measures. The main challenges in controlling the populations is the isolation of the herds and the controversial nature of culling or removal, as well as the lack of research to support the need of the large costs associated with controlling these populations. Feral horses have a cultural significance in Australia, and therefore many people are opposed to the culling of them. These are some of the questions that came up during my research that I'd like to look into further. While this research links strongly to the Year 1 and 4 science curriculum, it is most suited to the Year 4 curriculum. Under Science Understanding Biological Science, the students can explore how feral horses and donkeys impact the environment and the indigenous animals. Students can explore how the two groups, native and non-native, interact and rely on each other to survive. Earth and Space Sciences in the Year 4 curriculum discusses how human endeavours impact erosion as well as natural processes. Feral horses and donkeys are both. They are natural manipulators of the landscape in their native areas, but here they are the result of human activity. Science as a humour endeavour, using science to understand the effects of their actions, could be explored through the discussion and research of the effect of the introduced animals on the Australian environment. The research also links to multiple parts of the cross-curriculum priority of sustainability, including systems, worldviews and futures, which is briefly discussed in this slide. Thank you for listening to this. I'm sorry if you can't understand me, as I have a really nasty cold.